They have been using alchemy, and by they I mean the elite, the owners, the royal bloodlines, the Masons, whatever you want to call it. They have been using alchemy to transmute our mind into a fantasy-based reality, to take our mind and turn it into nonsense, just constantly thinking nonsense. Now, in order to use alchemy correctly, you have to use mercury, which it's taught to us from Hermes Trismegistus that mercury is really, it's the first step. Mercury is believed to be the bridge between the physical and the spiritual world. I find it fascinating that, for one thing, they put mercury in certain things that we get from our doctors. And that's a fact, and they do that. And for two things, mercury is also, like, we can look at NASA. NASA's very first mission that they set out for was named Mercury. The second was Gemini. The third is Apollo. It's interesting because the gods that relate to Gemini are Hermes and Athena. And Hermes is where we get a lot of these teachings from, allegedly. A lot of this teaching about alchemy in the first place, it comes from Hermes, which I find fascinating. So why is NASA naming their earliest Apollo missions Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo? That's because in order to transmute the mind, you have to use mercury. So they're using mercury as the base layer, just like that. Their missions, their base layer, their first layer is mercury, second is Gemini. It's driving your mind down a rat trap, down a complete rabbit hole that is a total lie and makes no sense. It's fantasy based. Driving a brain down a rabbit hole. Think about how easy this is. When you have kids, you tell your kids, oh, Santa Claus is gonna come if you're a good boy or you're a good girl. What is that kid gonna do? For one thing, they're gonna say, who's Santa Claus? What's Santa Claus? You're gonna explain to them. Santa Claus comes down the chimney. He drops you off presents if you're a good boy or a good girl. What are they gonna do next? They're now gonna think about this Santa Claus character. They're gonna understand that if you do good things, Santa's gonna bring you presents. That is creating a perception for them, which then becomes their reality. Their reality to them now is that if they act good or do good, Santa's gonna come. It's the same thing. They've been lying to us about everything, creating a perception that rolls into a reality. So, and it all starts with a very base layer of alchemy, which is mercury. That's why, again, NASA's first mission there was mercury. Its base layer, it's all encoded in everything they do. And it's pretty blatantly obvious now. Now, why would they lie? Why would they do this to us? Why would they lie? Because if you're busy in a lie, if your mind is stuck in a trap that doesn't even make sense and there's no truth in it anyway, you're never gonna find out the truth. The truth is what sets you free. You're never, ever gonna find out the truth if you're living in a lie. That's how it works. It's pretty incredible. But again, this is for entertainment only, and I love you all. This is strictly satire. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. This is just satire and entertainment. So I love you all, and I'll see y'all later.